Morning. It is May 12th, 2025, and it looks like some of the trade news is way better than expected. We woke up this morning, last night was already sounding good, and we were awaiting a big announcement. Then it came in that it was about pharma, and we're going to hear about that, and those are the only stocks that didn't really react this morning. And then out of nowhere this morning, we hear that China and the United States have agreed to lower tariffs and have a pause and lower the rate and all of that. And now we are up about 3%. So this is very good news. It is better than expected, even coming into this weekend. We didn't think much would come out of this event, and now everybody is realizing, wait a minute, This was way bigger, and we do have a deal, and now we'll see where things lead us from there. So, Chattadonia, it's going to be a wild one. Welcome to the week. We got PAL and data and a couple of earnings, and now this is the upside. Let's see if that FOMO kicks in or not. But, Chattadonia, it's going to be a wild one. I hope you're ready for all of it. And good morning. How are you, baby? Oh, yes, and bad news. The Twitch is not up today. I could not get it up. Literally, my computer would crash, and then it wouldn't send me the text message. I tried, bro, but no Twitch today, unfortunately. But good morning, Carson. What up, Sean? Lucky, Andrea, Lucky Soldier, baby. What up, PNC? What up, 7 Legal? Oscar, Dave, Brian, Mr. Hahn, Mr. Edwards. Good morning. A wise, open face sandwich, baby. Yonito, Zoraz, a man, Jerry Garcia, Thebe, JG. What's going on, baby? How you doing, Connor? What up, Julie? What up, Misa? Good morning. Laker, Jay. Good morning, baby. What up, ED? Johnny B. Good, Michael, Damian, Bonnie, Lester, Alex. Are you guys ready? No, are you ready? Like, look, better than expected. Ups. Are you kidding me? Long term. Oh, I've been trying to tell him long term, bro. I've been trying to tell him long term. So, Chattadonia, I hope you guys are feeling good. I wish I could say hello to the Twitch, but yeah, I'll try to get it up later today, but literally it crashed my computer every single time. So, Twitch might be the culprit, but in the meantime, the long term, baby. And now I have Josh AI for the news. Good morning, baby. Good morning. U.S. stock futures and dollar surge on tariff truce. Investors rush back into U.S. assets, powering a 3% surge in S&P 500 futures after China and the U.S. agreed to cut tariffs and de-escalate a trade war that had sown turmoil in global markets. The dollar jumped the most in a month. Risk appetite on Wall Street reignited after Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent hailed the trade discussions as very robust and productive. U.S. mega-cap tech stocks, which had been hit hard earlier this year, were on track to tally some of the biggest gains, with NASDAQ 100 futures set to re-enter a bull market. Nvidia Corp, Amazon.com Inc., Apple Inc., and Tesla Inc. all rose more than 5% in pre-market trading. The dollar traded around 1% stronger at a one-month high. Gold fell more than 3%. The 10-year Treasury yield rose 7 basis points as traders pushed back the timing of possible interest rate cuts. The breakthrough in the China-U.S. talks delivers a shot of relief to investors who were bracing for the possibility that a spiraling trade war between the world's biggest economic powers might cause a global recession. The countries will lower tariffs on each other's products for 90 days, according to a joint statement released in Geneva. The risk of a deep and protracted U.S. recession has gone, said Guy Miller, chief market strategist at Zurich Insurance Company. From a company earnings perspective, the headwind to revenues has clearly diminished. The trade war has been the biggest driver in markets this year, and investors went into the weekend talks eager for a clear sign the recovery from Trump's Liberation Day announcement of tariffs on April 2nd could be sustained. Rounds of retaliation had raised U.S. levies on imports from China China to 145%, while the Chinese put in place a 125% duty on U.S. goods. That stoked fears of stagflation and recession, which eroded faith in U.S. assets, long seen as the world's safest. Under the temporary pause unveiled on Monday, the combined U.S. levies will be reduced to 30%, while the 125% Chinese duties on American goods will drop to 10%. Bessent said that neither nation wants to decouple and that talks might lead to purchasing agreements by China. In our view, equity markets are returning to where they would have moved to if Liberation Day had not happened and Trump had just applied the 10% universal tariff, said Roberto Schultes, head of strategy at Singular Bank. Corporate fundamentals are healthy. First quarter results have substantially surprised on the upside, and there's plenty of cash to be invested. At the same time, the 90-day cool-off won't fix the economic fallout from Trump's initial levies, and traders are wary of getting too complacent. It's an upward reaction to the news, but the narrative hasn't changed. 90 days of tariff reprieve doesn't change the uncertainty created by the announcements of April 2nd, said Karen George, an equity fund manager at Ecofee. The market remains fragile. Geopolitics in focus. Elsewhere, shares in India jumped almost 4%, and those in Pakistan rallied 9% after the two nations agreed to an immediate ceasefire after 4 days that saw the worst fighting between the countries in half a century. And after a weekend of hectic diplomacy, Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky said he will travel to Istanbul on May 15th, where Russian President Vladimir Putin has proposed direct negotiations between the two countries. As Trump's Ukraine push comes to a head with challenge to Putin, the latest developments could become a boon for risk-correlated assets and currencies and a blow to safe haven currencies like the yen, Swiss franc, and even the euro, said Valentin Marinov, head of G10 FX research and strategy at Credit Agricole. PharmaPain, pharmaceutical companies missed out on the broader rally. Drug company stocks fell across the world after Trump said he planned to order a cut in U.S. prescription costs to bring them in line with other countries, prompting concern that profits will take a hit. Trump said in a social media post that he'll sign the executive order at 9 a.m. Monday in Washington. Novo Nordisk AS, AstraZeneca PLC, and Roche Holding AG slid, while in Asia, the pharmaceutical subgroup in Japan's Topix Index posted its biggest one-day loss since August. Shares in U.S. drug makers were also weaker, with Eli Lilly and Company, Pfizer Inc. and Bristol Myers Squibb Company, Merck and Company Inc. all down in pre-market trading in New York. Risk on. Investors are embracing risk all over again to start the week. Thanks to the temporary truce in the U.S.-China trade war, a gauge of dollar strength rose as much as 1% as the two nations agreed to temporarily lower some tariffs for 90 days. U.S. Treasuries fell, sending the two-year yield up as much as 10 basis points to 3.99% as traders paired bets on interest rate cuts from the Federal Reserve. It's a pivot for markets, which have been roiled by Trump's attempts to rewire global trade. He targeted China with particularly punitive tariffs, sparking a trade war and fears of a recession. This kind of coordinated tariff relief, even if temporary, changes the investment landscape, said Nigel Green, chief executive officer of DeVere Group. It clears a path for businesses to recalibrate their outlook and for markets to rally on something more than just hope. Points. Traditional haven assets such as gold, the Japanese yen, and the Swiss franc plunged, as did European government bonds. The two-year German yield rose 11 basis points to 1.90%. Stocks rallied on both sides of the Atlantic, and in Asia, the Hang Seng China Enterprises Index and Hong Kong's benchmark Hang Seng Index both closed 3% higher, wiping out all of their losses since Trump's Liberation Day of tariffs. Cato begins taking orders for world's top listing in 2025. Contemporary Amperex Technology Company Limited has started taking investor orders for a Hong Kong stock offering that is likely to be the world's biggest listing this year. KTL, as the Chinese electric vehicle battery giant is known, is seeking to raise as much as HK$41 billion $5.3 billion, according to its listing document on Monday. That's if the deal is upsized and the green shoe exercised on top of the base offering of up to HK $31 billion. The company has received enough investor interest for its Hong Kong share sale early on the first day. The deal was launched on Monday, according to people familiar with the matter. Top overnight news: trade tariffs. U.S. and China announced significant tariff cuts for 90 days. Axios, Washington Post, New York Times, FT, Bloomberg. Chinese companies moving to reduce reliance on foreign components in their supply chains. FT. Call for U.S.-made goods seems to boost demand, but trade deals may undercut pricing. FT. Washington. Trump says will sign executive order aiming to lower drug prices by 30 to 80%. FT. Bloomberg. House Republican plan to cut Medicaid spending includes work requirements and eligibility checks. WSJ. House GOP plan to fund extension of Trump's tax cuts by reclaiming unused funds from previous climate programs. Bloomberg. Geopolitics. Ukraine. Zelensky says ready to meet Putin in Turkey on Thursday for potential talks. Axios. Reuters. Delhi angry at Trump's upstaging of Indian PM Modi following U.S. brokered Indian-Pakistan ceasefire. Bloomberg. Reuters. Military chiefs from India and Pakistan set to discuss next steps as a ceasefire has restored calm at the border. FT. Reuters. Hamas to release last American hostage in Gaza after U.S. discussions regarding ceasefire and humanitarian aid access. WSJ. FT. Trump repeatedly bypasses PM Netanyahu, sidelining him on urgent issues, sparking dismay among Israelis. Washington Post voice. Trump heads to Middle East seeking deals with AI, viewed as America's most coveted commodity. Politico. New York Times. FT. Axios. Economy. China deflation pressures persisted in April amid negative spillovers from trade tensions. Bloomberg. Reuters. Japan's economy forecast to have shrunk in Q1, reflecting drag from exports and subdued consumer spending. Bloomberg. Markets. U.S.-based hedge funds increase bullish bets on Chinese stocks, anticipating progress in U.S.-China trade talks. Reuters. Central banks. ECB Governing Council divided as doves push for further cuts while hawks cautious on rate path. Bloomberg. Corporate. Eli Lilly Zepbound outperforms Novo Nordisk's Wegovy in latest data on head-to-head trial. Reuters. Bloomberg. Industrials and pharma is going crazy right now. So again, we're going to get a call at 9:30, I think, right at the bell from Trump on that. That was the only bad about today, but we have more, baby. S&P futures, they're up by 3% Monday morning. Comes after U.S. equities finished mostly lower last week following big gains over the prior 2 weeks that helped the S&P recover the early April reciprocal tariff losses. Despite the pullback, breadth was better than equal weight. S&P outperforming the benchmark by nearly 90 basis points. Treasuries under pressure with a big bear flattening move. Shorter dated yields up 10 to 12 basis points, and the market is now pricing in just over 50 basis points of Fed cuts for the year. Dollars up by 1.3, gold is down by 3.3, and Bitcoin futures are up by 0.6. WTI is up by 3.8. Global risk assets boosted by meaningful de-escalation of U.S.-China trade tensions following weekend talks in Switzerland. For the next 90 days, U.S. tariffs on Chinese goods will come down from 145 to 30%, represents 10% reciprocal tariff and 20% related to fentanyl, while China tariffs on U.S. goods will come down to 125 to 10%. Tariff relief has been much more aggressive than expected going into the talks, as press reports noted. U.S. could lower the rate towards 50, while Trump floated 80% on Friday. Trade de-escalation tailwind expected to be exacerbated by positioning dynamics, particularly when it comes to systematic strategies. Other bullish talking points revolve around resilient retail buying, outsized corporate buyback activity, and better than feared Q1 earnings season. Busy from a headline perspective outside the trade as well. A lot of focus on GOP reconciliation bill, including $5 trillion estimate for House tax plan, a figure that exceeds the $4.5 trillion allowed for the budget and does not include some of the Trump key tax priorities. Medicare, the other area of focus, with reports that House Republicans decided against some of the more aggressive savings measures that had contemplated and that had been pushed by the fiscal hawks. Elsewhere in Washington, Trump to announce executive order establishing most favored nation policy for drug prices, which would align U.S. drug prices with lower prices paid by other nations. Policy expected to be a major overhang on pharma stocks. On the geopolitical front, India and Pakistan in a fragile ceasefire, while Zelensky challenged Putin to meet him in Turkey on Thursday for peace talks. Nothing on the U.S. economic calendar today. Fed Governor Kugler will speak on economic outlook at 10:25. CPI and NFIB small business optimism on Tuesday. No data on Wednesday, though. Fed Waller, Jefferson, and Daly scheduled to speak. Thursday brings Empire Manufacturing, Philly Fed, retail sales, PPI, industrial production, business inventories, and home builder sentiment. In addition, Fed Chair Powell at 8:40, though the focus on framework review, housing starts, and Michigan consumer sentiment. Cap off the week on Friday. Wow, Habibi, this is no problem. Wow, that's all the headline. We got some pre-market movers. Oh, the long term is going to love it, man. Long term is going to love it. Again, there's actually a ton. So not all of these have news. Some of them are literally just because we gapped up 3%. A-Lab is up by 13.5. Morgan Stanley upgrade. BBY is up by 10. Nothing. NRG is up by 9.6 to acquire Power Portfolio for $12 billion. Shopify up 9.1. Diminish appears to remain intact. MongoDB Shop is replacing them on the NASDAQ 100. Amazon up 8.5. Diminish rule appears to remain intact. All these other names are literally just up because of the hype. Apple is up by 6.5. Not only the tariffs, but they said they may raise iPhone prices, not due to tariffs, but due to new features, they said. VG is up by 6.4. FERC clears Venture Global Export Project. Reuters. Net is up by 6.0. CICC upgrade. Reddit's up 5. Dell is up 5. CoreWeave is up 5. Target is up by 5.3. Bernstein downgrade. RGC is up 25 off nothing. Restoration up 18 off nothing. Nibis up 12.5. ClickHouse reportedly seeking to raise funds at $6 billion valuation. MAG is up by 11.7. Pan American to acquire for $2.1 billion. HUT is up by 11.7. Subsidiary American Bitcoin announces definitive all-stock merger with Griffin Digital Mining. Globe up 8, Warby up 8, AEO up 7, Abercrombie up 7, JetBlue up 7, SEDG up 7, SMR up 7, Pfizer's up, CZR is up. Or is that Pfizer? I think that was something else. KDLY is up by 56. Definitive agreement with Nakamoto Holdings. GRYP up 219. HUT 8. Definitive agreement. CTMX 131 off earnings. AVTX 27 off earnings. Which one is it? So many. Telsa is up by 11. ABO is up by 10 to sell priority review voucher for $155 million. Hain is up by 8.9. Insider buy. BLDE is up by 7.5. Oust is up by 7. AMLX up 6. Long-term results phase 2 trial. Semis all trading higher. Chinese ADRs trading higher, trading lower. KSPI is down by 2.6 off earnings. Philip Morris down 2.2 nothing. AT&T down 1.4. Bud down 1.4. Goldman downgrade or upgrade. MTSR down 5.3 off earnings. SUP down 54 off earnings. NXXT down 6.6. Promissory note agreement. URGN down 3.9 off earnings. Gold and silver trading lower. And healthcare and pharma stocks trading lower on most favored nation executive order. Wow, Habibi. Chad, that was not bad. So yeah, we got a lot of time. Definitely better than expected trade news over the weekend. That is the general vibe, and then everybody is going to play the game of how long this lasts. Do I think this was a structural shift? No. Do I think this news was really good and better than expected? I do. But we got to get out of the FOMO zone, and even then, I still think it'll be choppy on the way up, even if we break out of this range. But it's very good news. This might, again, we were talking just how we needed we were excited about talks, you know? All of us were. If it came out positive that they were just negotiating, I think the market would have liked it. So the fact that it came out how it did, lowering tariffs to 30%, that's more than half lower than the 80% floated by Trump. And then now, I was telling you guys, like the effective rate, even above like 10 is a really high number. So now, based on this agreement, every number is back to like 10 to 30. Again, our tariffs now from China are 10%. So I think it's all really good news. And now the next couple of days, weeks, months, we're probably going to just spend debating whether or not or how much this should go up. Even a couple days, not even months. So we'll find out where that all takes us. But Chadadonia, how you feeling, baby? Are you feeling good? Are you feeling good? Oh, it's game time, baby. So we got a lot to go over. I even got a couple of plays, but oh my gosh, you guys. Oh my gosh. Do you guys realize? Thank you. I love all of you, man. And I think we had an effect, man. I'm so happy. You have no idea. But here at the Cult, man, before we do anything, before we chase a dollar, we pay homage to a very special group of people. And I'm glad people are paying attention. And I'm glad, man, we've been doing this for half a decade, and I plan on doing it a lot more. But every single day, man, we want to honor our veterans. We wouldn't be here without y'all. You have given up so much, and people have sacrificed day in and day out before a lot of us so that we could have this freedom and this opportunity, and we sit at home. So before we do anything, man, I just want to honor the veterans, and I really do hope that you guys bring this to real life in the culture, and it does have an impact. I don't know if you guys realize at the beginning of the year, I've been saying this a lot, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to be annoying. I keep thinking that people listen to the stream and they copy all sorts of stuff. So you know what I said? I said, I'm going to go and make sure we get some housing for veterans. And did you guys hear? So this weekend, Donald Trump announced moving immigration funds and creating an organization to house the veterans. So it's for 3,000 veterans, and I'm going to tell you this. Am I happy about it? I am. Do I think the job is done? Not at all. Okay? And believe me, and this is what I'm saying, man, I really hope every day that you guys show this love, and I really hope you bring this into real life, because a lot of times we just like to put these little Band-Aids on the issue, especially when it comes to veterans. And then, and they're like, okay, yeah, we got the veteran thing. And then everybody forgets about it. So 3,000, the number is 36,000 homeless veterans. We're 10% of the way there. I think it's a great first step. And above all else, man, I hope you guys realize when you show this love and appreciation, when you make this a big deal, when you make this about culture, there will be changes. And I think we already saw some. So veterans, we are still in your corner every day, and we got a lot more to do. But at the end of the day, I hope you know you are loved and appreciated, and we love you, and God bless you. And if anybody should be getting a long-term in crib, it should be you, baby. So let us help. And big shout out to anybody else out there giving back to their local communities, doctors, nurses, teachers, firefighters, police officers, the janitors, the coaches, the garbage men, anybody making their community run, baby. God bless you and thank you. But ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Place your right hand over your heart. Say it with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, baby. Son of the judge! Oh, it's game time, baby. Horna. Oh, Chad, Adonia. Habibi, how you feel? Habibi, how you feel? Oh, I'm still on the black screen. Yes, all righty. So we got a couple of plays. We got good time. So maybe we move on over to Gen Pop. Again, there's no Twitch today. My literal Twitch won't work. I tried to log in like 3 times. They wouldn't send me the confirmation. Then it crashed my computer 2 more times. And I was like, yo, bro, I don't know, man. So we will see. But Chad Adonia, it's going to be a big day. Again, your long term is probably going to benefit off of it more. We have a couple of plays that should go in the money. So we're going to look out for those, and then, yeah, I think we'll be good to go. Let me send that one out. Please hold while we connect your long term. And then other than that, Chad, I think it is time we move on over. Oh, long term popping. Daily dues this early. Well, thank you, my brother. Yeah, the long term's loving it, bro. Honestly, the long term, you guys, is amazing. Yeah, it's going to be looking fancy. But above all else, I hope you guys stay followed along. And just remember, we have the end of the year. We have a lot more to go, bro. We have a lot more to go, and there's going to be a lot more in store and a lot of opportunities and 43 months remaining, and then it's almost summer. So, yeah, don't get me started. But Chattadonia, we got about 5 minutes. We're already ahead. I will see you guys in Gen Pop, and good morning. I love you. Let's go. Let's have a good day. And peace.